Chosen one, listen closely, this is not a coincidence. Heaven has halted your scrolling, silenced the noise, and drawn your spirit into this very moment because eternity is speaking to you now. This is your awakening. You are standing on the edge of your last and greatest battle, the one that decides whether you step fully into destiny or fade into distraction. For too long, you've carried silent burdens. You've smiled while breaking inside, fought wars no one saw, and prayed prayers that seemed unanswered. Yet every struggle was recorded in the archives of heaven. You were not forgotten, you were being fortified. The waiting, the silence, the pain, it was divine construction. You were never being punished, you were being prepared. You see, the strongest soldiers are not chosen in comfort, they are chosen in chaos. Heaven did not anoint you for an easy road, but for an eternal impact. You were designed to stand when others fall, to endure what would crush the average soul, and to rise with unshakable faith. In this sacred pause, heaven speaks again through the eternal word. It was proclaimed in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Let that settle into your bones. You are not walking alone. The same God who spoke worlds into being walks beside you now. His presence is not a feeling, it's a reality. Even when you can't sense him, he surrounds you. Even when you feel forgotten, he is still fighting for you. This is your call to arms. The time for hesitation is over. Heaven's timeline has accelerated, and your obedience will determine what unfolds next. You've been trained in secret, refined in silence, and shaped in storms for this moment of manifestation. The battle ahead is not about survival, it's about revelation. God is revealing what he placed in you long ago. Every voice that told you you're not ready lied. Every whisper of fear was a last attempt to keep you from rising. You've already endured worse than what's coming. The scars you carry are proof of victories already won. And now, heaven commands you to rise not timidly, not halfway, but with the full force of divine authority resting on you. Look around you, the atmosphere is shifting. Darkness senses your awakening. That's why the pressure increased. That's why doors closed. That's why isolation came, because the enemy always attacks before promotion. But this time, you will not shrink. You will not retreat. You will stand and see the salvation of the Lord. This final battle is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to crown you. You fought through doubt, through heartbreak, through betrayal, and through silence. Yet you still believe. That is your greatest weapon, faith that refuses to die. Heaven measures strength not by perfection, but by persistence, and you, chosen one, are still standing. Lift your head. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is breathing strength into your lungs right now. The weariness breaking your body is about to turn into holy fire. Your weakness is about to become your testimony. Heaven is shifting you from survival into dominion. You will no longer fight for peace. You will carry it. Now let your agreement echo through heaven and earth. Don't let this moment pass as another message. This is divine instruction. Stand strong to the end. Every trial was training. Every loss was pruning. Every delay was direction. What's ahead of you requires courage, not comfort. Stand firm, even when you don't understand. If this word ignites your spirit, respond not out of emotion but out of faith, like this message as a sign of agreement. Share it so another warrior might rise, and subscribe so that you never again miss the voice that calls you higher. Finally, declare your readiness in the comments below by writing this prophetic number. 777, heaven's number of completion and divine victory. Let it be your seal that says, I will stand to the end. You are not the same person who began this journey. The fire changed you, refined you, and revealed your true strength. What once broke you now bows to you. Heaven has already written your victory. Walk in it, speak it, and let your light shake the darkness. The crown is not coming. It's already forming above you. Every step forward echoes through eternity as proof that faith still stands. You are the evidence that grace wins, that endurance pays off, and that divine power rests on those who refuse to quit. Remember, this is not the end, it's the unveiling. What was hidden in pain is now glowing in power. Your story will heal others, your scars will preach louder than words, and your obedience will ignite courage in souls yet to awaken. Stand tall, chosen one. The heavens recognize your yes. Your name has been spoken among angels, your endurance recorded in eternity's book. The final battle is already won. Now live as the victorious one you were destined to become. You feel the weight pressing upon your shoulders, the kind that doesn't come from people, but from purpose. It's a sacred heaviness, the kind only carried by those chosen for divine assignments. Every trial that once seemed random now reveals its pattern. You start to see that nothing in your story was wasted. Every heartbreak, every closed door, every lonely night, each was a divine brick in the foundation of your endurance. The truth is, you were being trained when you thought you were being forgotten. Heaven wasn't ignoring your prayers, it was shaping your spirit. You see now that strength doesn't come from blessings alone, it comes from surviving battles that tried to bury you. The tears you cried became holy water, washing away what couldn't enter your destiny. You carried more than most, and that weight became proof of your calling. Every chosen one carries a burden before carrying a crown. You were entrusted with pain that others would have escaped from. But you didn't run. You stood still, even when no one saw. That's why heaven trusts you. You didn't curse the process, you learned from it. You didn't collapse under pressure, you were compressed into power. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 126, verse 5, those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. There it is, the divine exchange. What you sowed in pain, you will harvest in praise. Your tears were never in vain. They were currency in the kingdom. Heaven doesn't waste suffering. The same places where you broke will soon become the places where others find healing. You've been through storms not to drown, but to teach others how to walk on water. You have carried a silent strength. People around you saw your calmness but didn't see the war inside. They saw your patience but never understood the pressure. That is the mystery of the chosen. You look ordinary to the world. Yet heaven sees the fire inside you. You've walked through invisible wars and still managed to smile. That is power. There were moments when you wanted to give up, when your prayers felt empty, when silence became heavier than words. But something inside you refused to die. That something was divine. It was the spirit within you whispering, "Don't quit now." Every time you thought it was over, grace resurrected your will. That is why you are still standing. You thought you were waiting for a sign, but heaven was waiting for your strength to mature. You thought you were delayed, but God was protecting what you weren't ready to carry yet. If you had received what you asked for earlier, it would have broken you. But now you are ready. Now, what once terrified you will testify for you. Understand this, the weight you've been carrying is sacred. It was never punishment, it was preparation. The crushing was the making. You had to lose certain people, not because they were evil, but because they couldn't carry your next season. God separated you to strengthen you. You were hidden, not forgotten. Many won't understand why you disappeared for a time, why you went silent, why you withdrew from crowd. But heaven knew. Solitude was the workshop of your transformation. You were being molded in secret, shaped in shadows, refined in silence. That's why you'll rise with authority others can't explain, because your power was born in pain. The heaviness you feel isn't a curse, it's a sign. The greater the calling, the deeper the crushing. You're carrying generational breakthrough inside you. What broke others will bow to you. What defeated your bloodline ends with you. That is why your journey has felt heavier. It's not just your story being rewritten, it's your entire lineage being redeemed through you. When you understand that, the weight begins to shift. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start declaring, "Use me." You realize that the load was never meant to crush you, but to crown you. You begin to see that even your scars shine under divine light. They become maps of survival and proof of purpose. And now, as you breathe in this revelation, peace enters. The same weight that once made you tremble now feels like a mantle. You are no longer a victim of what happened. You are the vessel heaven prepared. You carry wisdom that can only come from pain, empathy that can only come from loss, and strength that can only come from surrender. So stand tall under the weight. It's not there to destroy you, it's there to remind you of who you are. The pressure proves your position, the tears prove your trust. And soon, the joy will prove your victory. You no longer carry the weight as a burden, but as a banner. What once bowed your shoulders now lifts your spirit. You understand the weight was never punishment, it was proof of selection. Every scar has become sacred, every tear a testimony, every ache a sign you're chosen. The air thickens with unseen resistance. Something in the atmosphere tells you this isn't just another trial. It's the enemy's last attempt to stop what heaven has already released. You feel it in your spirit, that subtle pressure, that whisper of doubt trying to undo your progress. But you've come too far to back down now. The closer light gets to breaking through, the more darkness tries to distort it. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you, he only needs to distract you. That's why lately your thoughts have been restless, your emotions unpredictable, your peace shaken. It's not random, it's warfare. Hell has sensed the vibration of your destiny. You're too close to victory, and that terrifies the darkness. He doesn't appear in obvious way. He comes as discouragement, fatigue, comparison, and false guilt. He tries to convince you that you've failed, that heaven has gone silent, that maybe you misheard God. But these are not the signs of failure, they are proof of alignment. The attack intensifies when your breakthrough draws near. We are reminded through the writings of Paul in the letter to the Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. This is not just poetic language, it's divine strategy. The word stand isn't passive, it's warfare posture. It means plant your feet in truth and refuse to move. The enemy cannot overpower what refuses to surrender. You are not weak for being weary. You are strong for still standing. Look at your journey. You've survived fires that should have consumed you. You've overcome betrayals that should have broken you. You've walked through silence where others would have lost faith. Do you not see it yet? You are already a warrior. The ambush only exposes what heaven already placed within you. This is why the pressure feels personal. It is. You are a marked one, a threat to darkness, a carrier of breakthrough. The enemy doesn't waste energy on those who are no danger to him. The fact that you feel resistance means you are walking in the right direction. The shaking you sense isn't punishment, it's prophecy in motion. Heaven is testing your endurance one final time, not to harm you, but to prove you. Every delay, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer has been refining your discernment. You're learning not to react emotionally, but spiritually. You're learning to see through deception instead of being moved by it. This is maturity, this is power. There will be moments when silence feels deafening, when you want to ask, "Where are you, God?" But even silence speaks. It is heaven's way of saying, "You already know what to do, stand." This is where faith graduates from words to being. You don't need constant reassurance when you've become the proof of it. The enemy's greatest weapon is distraction. If he can't stop you, he'll exhaust you. If he can't break your faith, he'll clutter your focus. That's why now, more than ever, you must guard your atmosphere, protect your mind, watch what enters your heart. Some voices sound harmless but are sowing seeds of doubt. Silence is sometimes the loudest form of warfare. You must remember that your strength isn't found in how loud you shout or how hard you fight, but in how deeply you trust. The battle is won when your peace no longer depends on circumstances. That is when hell loses its grip, when you stand calm in the storm, knowing that the outcome is already written. This final ambush will expose what is real and remove what is false. Some people will fall away. Some doors will close. But don't mourn what leaves, rejoice for what remains. Everything that exits now is making room for divine order. Heaven is not taking from you, it's aligning you. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The cross already declared your triumph. All you must do is stand in that truth until it manifests. Now take a moment to speak faith into the air. Write these 3 words below, "I will endure." When you write them, it's more than a comment, it's a covenant. You are declaring to every spiritual force that no pressure will silence your praise. You're announcing that your faith will not collapse under fire. You're aligning yourself with the same endurance that carried every chosen one before you. Let heaven see your agreement, and let hell know you're still standing, unshaken and unstoppable. When you type "I will endure," you are not just commenting, you are prophesying. Those 3 words send a declaration into the unseen realm. They echo through every layer of darkness that once tried to silence you. You're telling heaven you choose faith over fear, purpose over pain, and endurance over escape. Every letter becomes a weapon, every word a flame. "I will endure" means your spirit refuses surrender. Even when your strength runs low, it means your roots are deeper than the storm, your heart anchored in divine truth. Let this be written in eternity that you stood when others fell, and believed until victory manifested. You sense it now, the unseen eyes watching, the silent witnesses of heaven leaning forward as your story unfolds. You are not alone in this battle, though it feels like it at times. The air is heavy, but so is the presence that surrounds you. Heaven's gaze has fixed upon you, not with judgment, but with divine attention. You have captured the eyes of the Almighty through your endurance. There are countless souls across time and eternity who once stood where you stand now. The prophets, the warriors, the dreamers, all of them face their own final tests. They know the trembling in your spirit, the ache of uncertainty, the tension between faith and fear. Yet they also know the outcome. They watch, not in doubt, but in anticipation, because they recognize the signs of one who will not bow. Heaven does not celebrate perfection, it celebrates persistence. The throne room reverberates with praise, not when you never fall, but when you rise again and again. The angels do not whisper about your failures, they speak of your resilience. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses who are waiting to see you finish what you started. As recorded in the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Those words echo in eternity even now. You are not running an aimless race. You are running the path heaven mapped long before you were born. Every twist, every setback, every delay was written into your story with purpose. And the witnesses who surround you are not merely observing, they are interceding, cheering, aligning the atmosphere for your victory. When you feel unseen, remember this: heaven sees you entirely. Every hidden act of obedience, every quiet prayer, every moment you chose peace over retaliation, it is all recorded in the eternal archives of light. You are not forgotten in heaven's timeline. You are highlighted. This awareness changes how you walk. When you realize heaven is watching, you begin to carry yourself differently, not out of pride, but out of sacred responsibility. You become intentional with your steps. You measure your reactions not by emotion, but by eternity. You stop asking, "Who sees me?" and start declaring, "Heaven sees me." Even when it feels like silence surrounds you, the heavenly realm is active. Angels are dispatched at your word, not because you shout, but because you believe. The moment you whisper faith, the unseen responds. Every prayer you think was unanswered is simply unfolding in ways you cannot yet perceive. Heaven's timing does not delay, it synchronizes. You may not see the witnesses, but their presence is felt in the strength that comes out of nowhere, in the peace that surpasses logic, in the fire that reignites when you thought it was gone. That strength isn't from you, it's from the ones who have gone before you, releasing endurance into your spirit. Consider this: every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, heaven erupts in applause. Every time you love when it's easier to hate, you advance the light. Every time you stand when you could have run, you make eternity proud. Your obedience carries a ripple effect that touches realms you cannot imagine. Sometimes heaven's attention feels like pressure. You sense that you are being watched not for your downfall, but for your unfolding. You are being documented as evidence that faith still works, that grace still saves, that hope still wins. You are a living testimony written by divine hands. You must understand the reason your story matters so much is because it's not only yours. Every victory you win opens doors for those who come after you. Every chain you break becomes a pattern of freedom for another soul. You are part of an eternal relay, carrying the flame of divine truth forward through time. The witnesses are not asking for perfection, they are urging you to keep moving. When your legs tremble, crawl. When your faith wavers, whisper. When you can't see the finish line, remember it still exists. Heaven does not measure you by speed, but by persistence. The race is not won by the fastest, but by the faithful. Right now, as you breathe these words, something powerful is happening in the unseen realm. Angels are aligning over your household. Generational weights are lifting. Heaven is taking note that you're still standing. The witnesses who once endured are now watching their legacy continue through you. So keep running, not aimlessly but intentionally. Run with your eyes fixed on the one who called you. The gaze of heaven is not meant to intimidate, it's meant to empower. When you realize you're surrounded by love, not scrutiny, courage returns. You don't have to perform to impress heaven. You only have to obey. You don't have to prove your worth. Your endurance already does. Heaven is not waiting for perfection, it's waiting for your next step. Take it. Move forward. You are seen. You are cheered for. You are part of eternity's unfolding story. There are moments when the noise of life grows unbearable, when every voice outside and inside competes for your attention. You long for silence. yet you fear what you might hear when the noise fades. But in this sacred tension, a new sound begins to rise. It is not a voice of panic or demand. It is the steady whisper that cuts through the storm, God's voice, calling your name in peace. You begin to recognize it. It's the same voice that once pulled you out of despair, the same tone that soothed you when the world turned cold. It does not shout, it settles. It does not force, it frees. And you realize something beautiful. Heaven has never been distant. You are simply tuned to the wrong frequency. When everything around you screamed confusion, heaven whispered clarity. When you questioned your worth, heaven reminded you of your assignment. When you felt abandoned, heaven wrapped you in stillness. The voice never left, it waited for you to listen. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. That promise is alive even now. The Creator of galaxies invites you to call, not as a beggar, but as a beloved child. He waits for your voice. He delights in your response. He longs for dialogue, not distance. When heaven speaks, it's not commanding you to perform. It's reminding you that you are already part of the divine conversation. This is the voice that cuts through chaos, the one that separates truth from illusion. It doesn't come with thunder. It arrives like a soft wind carrying revelation. It tells you when to move, when to wait, when to forgive, and when to let go. Every instruction it gives is not a restriction, it's protection. You've known the difference between the noise of the world and the voice of heaven. The world shouts to be heard. Heaven whispers because it already knows it's enough. The world accuses. Heaven affirms. The world confuses. Heaven clarifies. And every time you choose to listen, your soul grows quieter, stronger, steadier. When you stop striving and start hearing, you find yourself in rhythm with eternity. The voice of God isn't bound by volume, it's bound by connection. You hear it in moments of peace, in sudden clarity, in tears you can't explain. Sometimes it speaks through silence itself. Sometimes it's not in the words, but in the knowing. That voice is guiding you even now. You've been asking for a sign, for a direction, for a confirmation. This is it. Not through lightning or thunder, but through resonance. Your heart recognizes truth when it's spoken. You don't have to chase it. You only have to yield. Think about how long you've been running, searching for meaning, craving guidance, wanting to feel seen. And yet, here it is, heaven's steady whisper saying, "Be still. I am here." The voice that once called prophets and kings now calls you, not because of your status, but because of your surrender. There is beauty in listening. In a world obsessed with being heard, you've chosen to hear. That alone sets you apart. When you listen, heaven speaks louder. When you obey, heaven moves faster. And every yes you whisper becomes an echo that ripples through eternity. Now the voice doesn't demand you to act, it invites you to align. It does not force your devotion, it inspires it. And within that invitation lies a subtle, sacred choice. Not one born of obligation, but of affection. You sense it now, this call to stay connected, to remain near the sound that restores your soul. Let this moment be a symbol. Just as you pause here to breathe in peace, you are also choosing to keep that connection alive beyond this message. When you align with light, you naturally share it. When your spirit is fed, it overflows. The simple act of staying, listening, and continuing the journey is your quiet agreement with heaven. If your spirit feels stirred, let that inner flame express itself gently, freely. Touch the heart below as though lighting a candle. When you press like, It becomes your silent amen. When you share, it's as if you open a window for the same breeze to reach another soul. And when you subscribe, it's like choosing to walk beside this stream again whenever your heart thirsts for peace. So let your presence here be a gentle declaration, not of duty, but of devotion. Stay connected to the sound that awakens you. Keep returning to this space of stillness where heaven and heart meet. Not because you're told to, but because something deep inside you longs to. And as you do, may your life become the living echo of that voice, a steady, peaceful sound that reminds others they are seen, they are called, and they are loved. Each heartbeat becomes a soft echo of heaven's rhythm, a quiet vow to keep listening. The whisper continues gentle, eternal, alive within you, reminding your soul that every moment you choose peace, you are already in conversation with God. You've come far, chosen one. You've crossed valleys where faith was tested, and now the temptation isn't rebellion, it's rest. Not holy rest, but the kind that makes you want to drop your sword to say, I've done enough. Yet heaven whispers differently. This is not the time to slow down. This is the moment your perseverance becomes prophecy. Weariness is not weakness, it's evidence that you've been fighting. The soul gets tired not from sin, but from standing too long without seeing change. You've prayed, endured, and waited, and still, the silence lingers. But heaven's silence is not absence, it's strategy. You are being stretched beyond emotion into pure endurance. The greatest temptation before victory is not to sin, but to stop. The enemy knows he can't destroy you, so he tries to exhaust you. He sends heaviness to your spirit, apathy to your faith, distraction to your purpose. The battle shifts from visible warfare to invisible weariness. It whispers, "You've done enough, just rest now," when rest really means retreat. We are reminded through the words written in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That promise burns like fire through your fatigue. You've been sowing for seasons that felt barren, yet heaven has been nurturing seeds unseen. The harvest doesn't fail, it waits. Every delay you've endured has been divine timing in disguise. You are closer than you think. You cannot stop now. The weariness you feel is the final weight before release. Like a woman in labor, the last push hurts the most, but it also means new life is seconds away. Your spirit aches not because you are empty, but because something holy is about to be born through you. The contractions of discomfort are signs of delivery. When your strength runs low, don't seek escape, seek presence. Heaven's strength is not added to yours, it replaces it. When your power ends, divine endurance begins. You've reached the point where your faith no longer depends on feelings. This is maturity, the place where obedience continues even when passion fades. You may not feel flames, but the fire still burns. You may not see movement, but heaven is still at work. The promise is still alive, the word still true, the spirit still within you. Stand through this hour of fatigue, for it is the passage between testing and triumph. Remember the stories of those who endured: Moses at the sea, Elijah beneath the tree, Jesus in the garden. Each one faced exhaustion before revelation. You're walking a sacred pattern, and the ache you feel is not the end, it's the evidence that transformation is near. When your body says stop, let your spirit whisper, one more step. That step will shift everything. The moment you decide to endure past comfort, heaven releases reinforcement. Angels gather around those who refuse to quit. The unseen realm recognizes persistence as worship. Every breath you take in faith is an act of defiance against darkness. So breathe again. You are allowed to rest. but not to retreat. Rest in his presence, not in passivity. The difference is this one restores, the other resigns. Heaven calls you not to lay down your sword, but to lift it with renewed resolve. You may not feel chosen in this moment, but that's when your faith becomes real. Chosen doesn't always look glorious, it often looks exhausted, tear-stained, and determined. But that's where glory grows. That's where crowns are formed. Now, as you stand at the edge of your strength, make this your silent declaration, not a cry for help, but a statement of faith. Let the heavens record it as your covenant of endurance. Write this number below: 888. 8, the number of new beginnings, of resurrection, of things made new. 888 is the symbol of cycles completed and rebirth emerging. When you type it, you're not just commenting, you're declaring that you refuse to quit before the promise arrives. You are announcing, "I will rise again." This number is your spiritual signature, your reminder that even when your strength ends, God's renewal begins. Let it stand as your vow. You will not faint. You will not retreat. You will finish the race marked for you. The fatigue will fade, but your faith will not. Heaven is already sending strength. Angels are already in motion. The sound of breakthrough is near. All you must do is endure just a little longer. Just one more step, and everything changes. When you type 888, heaven hears more than a number. It hears surrender wrapped in strength. It becomes a rhythm of rebirth, an echo that says, "I will not stop at exhaustion. I will rise renewed." It's your silent agreement with divine continuation. Each 8 turns like a wheel of eternity, symbolizing endless grace, fresh beginnings, and strength that never runs dry. As you comment it, you're declaring your restart, your soul's new sunrise after the storm. Heaven reads it as courage, and earth feels the tremor of your endurance inside the silence of your heart. Another battle begins, the one no one sees, the one fought not with hands but with thoughts. You have conquered storms outside, but now the enemy seeks to invade within. This is the battlefield of the mind, where truth and deception wrestle for control. You know this war well. It comes quietly, disguised as overthinking, as worry that hides behind logic, as fear that wears the mask of caution. The battle doesn't begin when disaster strikes. It begins in the whisper that says, "Maybe you're not enough." That single seed of doubt can grow into a forest of confusion if not uprooted quickly. The mind is sacred ground. It's the temple where heaven's whispers and hell's lies both seek to dwell. That's why the fiercest fights don't happen around you, but inside you. The thoughts you entertain shape the world you experience. The enemy understands this. He doesn't need to destroy your circumstances if he can control your perception. It is written in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. "Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Transformation begins not with changed surroundings, but with changed sight. Heaven doesn't rebuild your life until it has renewed your mindset. Every promise, every breakthrough, every moment of freedom begins when you refuse to think like you used to. Your mind was never meant to be a battlefield. It was meant to be a throne room. God designed it as the place where His peace would reign, where His truth would anchor your emotions. But when lies invade that sacred space, peace flees. That's why you must guard your thoughts like a soldier guards the gates of a kingdom. You've noticed how quickly one thought can shift your entire atmosphere. A single memory can drain your joy. A single fear can freeze your faith. Yet one revelation can also change everything. This is why spiritual warfare begins with awareness. You can't fight what you don't recognize. When darkness whispers, it rarely shouts. It speaks softly, mimicking your own inner voice, convincing you that fear is reason, that doubt is realism. But the moment you realize it's not your voice, it's his, you regain authority. Recognition is liberation. The mind is both fragile and powerful. It can create prisons or pathways, despair or deliverance. Every time you choose to think truth over fear, you win a battle unseen. Every time you refuse to replay pain, you reclaim territory. Every time you align your mind with God's word, light floods into the corners of confusion. You are not your thoughts. You are the gatekeeper of them. You decide what stays and what leaves. Heaven gave you the power to evict fear, to silence lies, to host peace. You are not a slave to the chaos inside your head. You are its commander. It's not about pretending everything is fine. Faith isn't denial. It's decision. It's looking at fear and saying, "You can speak, but I won't listen." It's hearing doubt knock and choosing not to open the door. It's allowing truth to become louder than every echo of your past. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen quietly in your mind when you finally stop believing lies you've carried for years. When you release yourself from old identities that no longer fit. When you forgive yourself for mistakes heaven already forgot. Renewal doesn't come through escape, it comes through awareness. You can't cast out what you refuse to confront. So confronted every limiting thought, every whisper of shame, every lie that tells you your story is finished. Speak truth to it, not as one pleading for freedom, but as one who already possesses it. You are not weak for having battles in your mind. You are human. Even the greatest warriors wrestled with thoughts that questioned their worth. The difference is, they chose not to agree with them. You are learning the same mastery to let thoughts pass through but not take root. You cannot control what enters your mind, but you can control what remains. Let only what aligns with peace stay. Let every thought that contradicts your identity be cast out like an intruder. Guard your focus, for what you meditate on becomes what manifests around you. As you learn to master your inner world, your outer world will begin to follow. The chaos that once ruled will submit. The anxiety that once silenced you will dissolve. You'll discover that peace isn't found in perfect circumstances. It's found in a disciplined mind anchored in divine truth. This is the hidden battlefield where your destiny is decided. Win here, and every other victory will follow. For once the mind bows to truth, every storm outside must obey the calm within. When your thoughts finally align with heaven's truth, stillness returns. The war within ends, and your mind becomes a sanctuary again, no longer a field of chaos, but a garden of peace. Every calm breath becomes worship, every quiet thought a song of victory over the noise that once ruled you. The dawn breaks differently when your spirit begins to remember who you are. You rise, not as one uncertain or afraid, but as one clothed in unseen armor. The air feels charged again, not with fear, but with holy readiness. You can sense that heaven is dressing you for what comes next. This is the moment of the light bearer, the chosen one who carries radiance into realms where shadows still linger. The war outside will not relent, but neither will the strength within you. The armor you wear is not physical. It is forged from every prayer, every act of faith, every quiet yes whispered in surrender. You've worn pain long enough. Now you wear purpose. What once wounded you has become your weapon. Every scar glows now, each one an emblem of grace that darkness can no longer touch. You realize that you've been equipped all along. You were never unarmed, just unaware. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of Paul in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 13. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand. That command is not a suggestion. It is a revelation of identity. To wear the armor of God is to remember that you were never meant to fight alone. It is to clothe yourself in what cannot be destroyed, to stand not in your own power, but in divine authority. You begin to fasten the belt of truth around your waist, the reminder that what God said about you is final. Lies may circle like vultures, but truth cuts their wings. Then comes the breastplate of righteousness, not the hollow pride of perfection, but the steady knowing that you are covered by mercy. Over your shoulders you draw the cloak of peace, the kind that doesn't deny chaos but defies it. It settles your breathing, calms your pulse, and whispers you are secure. You lace up the sandals of readiness, those shoes that allow you to step boldly into uncertain ground, carrying peace where others carry fear. In your hand, you grip the shield of faith. It feels weighty, familiar. You've used it before, every time you chose hope over despair, every time you forgave instead of retaliated, every time you trusted when you couldn't see. That was faith defending you long before you named it. And then, the sword, the word itself, it doesn't tremble in your grip, it burns. Every verse that once comforted you now becomes a weapon of light. You don't swing it wildly, you wield it with purpose. This sword doesn't harm flesh. It severs deception. It doesn't kill, it reveals. Fully armored, you stand in stillness. There's no sound of trumpets, no battle cry, only breath and awareness. You are both warrior and witness, clothed in what heaven crafted. The armor isn't heavy, it's holy. It carries memory. It carries promise. And in this stillness, you realize something profound. The armor is not for appearance. It's for endurance. You understand now why the past had to hurt. It wasn't punishment. It was blacksmith work. Each disappointment was a hammer shaping your resilience. Each delay was a fire refining your courage. You've been tempered for strength, forged for faith. Nothing wasted, nothing random, everything preparation. You no longer see battles as threats. You see them as opportunities to prove what's inside you. Every challenge reveals another piece of divine craftsmanship. You are learning to trust your armor, to trust the God who tailored it perfectly to your shape and story. The enemy may still roar, but now his voice sounds small. Fear still knocks, but its echo fades faster. You've stopped reacting. You've started reigning. You've stopped asking, "Why me?" and started declaring, "Send me." Because you know now this armor was never meant to shine in storage. It was meant to move, to enter darkness, to carry hope into places light has not yet reached. You don't wait for the world to become safe before you walk. You walk so that the world begins to heal. You are not merely protected, you are empowered. The armor doesn't separate you from pain, it allows you to face it without being destroyed. It teaches you to stand, not because the battle is easy, but because the victory is assured. The more you wear it, the lighter it feels. It becomes less like metal and more like presence. You realize it's not something you put on, it's something you've become. You are the living armor of God, the manifestation of divine strength on earth. And as the sun climbs higher, its light catches on your spirit. You no longer fear the shadows, for you carry light within you now. You walk forward, every step steady, every breath deliberate, every heartbeat echoing heaven's rhythm. The battlefield no longer intimidates you, it recognizes you. You move like dawn through the remnants of night, quiet, unstoppable, radiant. The light within you no longer flickers, it commands the horizon. Every shadow bows as you pass, For the armor you wear is not borrowed, it is your very becoming. The battlefield still stretches before you. But something inside has shifted. You no longer tremble at the roar of the enemy, because you've learned that fear has no authority where faith has taken root. Yet the enemy is not done. He comes closer, not with weapons of steel, but with accusations that sting sharper than blades. The voice of the accuser is cunning. He doesn't attack what you do, he attacks who you are. He reminds you of every mistake, every weakness, every moment you fell short. He whispers your failures louder than your victories, hoping you'll bow to shame. But heaven has already rendered its verdict. You are forgiven, restored, and redeemed. The ancient tempter knows that once a chosen one understands their authority, his dominion ends. So he plays his oldest game, twisting truth until it sounds believable. He says you've gone too far when mercy is infinite. He says you're unworthy when grace already covered the cost. He says you're alone when heaven stands beside you. We are reminded through the words recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Those words strike the very heart of darkness. The accuser's greatest weapon is guilt, but his greatest defeat is your testimony. Every time you speak what God has done for you, you dismantle his lies. Your story becomes a sword. Your truth becomes thunder. You may feel the echoes of old shame trying to return. But remember, guilt looks backward. Grace moves forward. You have been justified not by perfection, but by surrender. The blood has already spoken on your behalf. You don't fight to prove your worth. You fight from worth already proven. Still, the enemy approaches, trying to remind you of your past as if you still belong there. But you look him in the eyes with a calm only heaven could give. You no longer answer accusation with defense, you answer with identity. You say, yes, I was broken, but I was also chosen. This is the authority of the redeemed, to walk through reminders of what was and carry no residue of shame. You have become untouchable to condemnation, not because you never failed, but because failure no longer defines you. The blood rewrote your name. The cross erased your record. You now stand in light that darkness cannot approach. Even the heavens celebrate this transformation. The witnesses who once watched your struggle now rejoice in your victory. You've stepped into a higher understanding of grace, not as an escape from punishment, but as empowerment to stand unashamed. Every time you breathe without guilt, hell loses power. Every time you forgive yourself, heaven celebrates. Every time you speak your story, chains in someone else's life begin to break. Your freedom is not selfish, it's contagious. So speak boldly. Let your life become living proof that redemption is stronger than rebellion. The accuser may roar, but your silence no longer feeds him. He cannot haunt a heart that has been healed. He cannot accuse a soul that has been washed. There is peace in knowing that every past sin has already been turned into purpose. What once disqualified you has become your greatest qualification to serve, to love, to lead. Heaven doesn't erase your scars, it makes them shine. Each one tells a story of victory over accusation. When the enemy speaks again, let him find no audience. Let your thoughts echo only truth. You don't need to shout. You only need to stand. The redeemed don't argue, they radiate. You are no longer who you were. You are a walking contradiction to the lies of hell. Your very existence preaches grace. Every step you take says, the past couldn't hold me. Every breath you draw declares, mercy still reigns. Now let your spirit make this declaration visible in the realm of light. Write these words below as your weapon of witness. Grace wins. When you comment those two words, it's more than a statement, it's warfare. You're telling the universe that accusation has lost its voice, that shame has been silenced. You're proclaiming that grace is not fragile, it is final. Each letter carries the sound of chains breaking, the sound of heaven applauding your courage to believe again. Your comment becomes a banner of truth waving across this battlefield. It announces that redemption is real, forgiveness is complete, and your story is now holy ground. Type it not for validation, but as testimony. Grace wins. When you write grace wins, you're declaring a truth that cannot be reversed. It's the anthem of every soul heaven rescued, the melody that terrifies darkness. Those two words proclaim that no accusation stands, no failure defines, and no wound remains unhealed beneath the covering of divine mercy. Each time your fingers type grace wins, heaven records it as testimony. It becomes a trumpet blast in the spirit, reminding every watching realm that love has conquered judgment. You're not just commenting, you're crowning your redemption, announcing that the story of grace has already ended in victory. You feel it, the shift, subtle yet unstoppable. The darkness that once seemed overwhelming now recoils when you enter the room. You carry something it cannot explain, peace that doesn't waver, joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, and authority that doesn't demand attention. You have become a vessel of divine steadiness. But heaven knows that the war around you is not finished. You may have defeated fear, silenced shame, and worn your armor well. But there is another phase of this journey. This is where light multiplies, where your personal victory becomes a beacon for others still trapped in night. You are not meant to keep your radiance hidden. You are meant to reflect it. Heaven's reinforcements are moving. Angels surround you, not because you are weak, but because your obedience draws them near. When one chosen one stands firm, all of heaven moves to fortify their ground. You've reached that place where divine power and human willingness meet, where miracles no longer feel foreign because they follow you. The ancient words speak again from the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. You stand protected, not because you are cautious, but because you are covered. The divine shield around you is unseen yet undeniable. You felt it, the close calls, the strange peace in chaos, the unexplainable rescue at the final moment. Those were no coincidences, they were confirmations. Heaven's army knows your name. In this sacred protection, there is also a calling. You are not only guarded, you are guided. You sense the gentle pull of destiny, the voice that says, "What I've done in you, do for another." Because grace never ends with the one who receives it, flows onward, finding the next weary soul. You start to see that this journey was never just about survival. It was about inheritance, the passing of light from one heart to another. Every wound healed in you becomes a word of comfort for someone else. Every scar becomes a roadmap for the lost. You have walked through fire, so you can now guide others through flame without fear. The moment you release light, heaven amplifies it. Each act of kindness, each word of hope, each time you share your truth, it echoes. The spiritual realm multiplies light through every expression of faith. Even a whisper of encouragement carries eternity within it. Now your spirit understands what the world never could influence is not domination, it's illumination. To shine is not to boast, it's to remind others that they gone too carry light. Every small act of love, every gentle truth spoken, every seed of hope planted, it all becomes part of heaven's strategy to heal the world through willing hearts. You don't have to preach loudly or perform miracles on stages. Sometimes the greatest impact happens through presence, the way your peace calms a room. the way your silence carries weight, the way your eyes speak compassion that words cannot form. You are light in motion, divinity disguised as human gentleness. And now heaven gives you a subtle invitation, not a command, not pressure, but a beautiful choice. You can keep this light within you, or you can let it ripple beyond. The decision is sacred, personal, eternal. It's an act of worship disguised as connection. If your heart feels stirred, let it express that inner flame in gentle ways. When you press like, imagine it as the spark of a lantern rising into the night sky, a signal to heaven saying, "The light lives in me." When you share, see it as passing a torch into another's hands, so their darkness finds warmth again. And when you subscribe, think of it as returning to the well where your spirit drinks peace, promising that you will keep drawing from this source whenever your heart runs dry. These are not digital gestures, they are symbolic movements of the soul. Each one says, "I choose to keep the flame alive." Heaven doesn't force light to shine, it invites it to flow. The choice is yours, and it's beautiful. You are not obligated to respond, you are invited to remember. Light is not meant to stay still, it is born to travel, to find the lost, to illuminate the unseen. You are part of that divine chain, the living conduit of heaven's compassion. So if you feel the warmth rising inside as you read these words, that's heaven's whisper saying, "Yes, it's your turn." Step forward, gently, willingly. Let your light speak. Let your heart move in ways that ripple into eternity. And as your soul responds in its own quiet way, may you feel the presence of angels near watching, smiling, guarding, and guiding as heaven continues to write your story in beams of gold. Each act of light you release becomes a thread in heaven's tapestry, glowing, eternal, intertwined with countless others. The world shifts quietly when you shine. Even the smallest spark from your heart joins the chorus of divine brilliance, painting the night with proof that darkness never truly wins. Then comes the stillness, the kind that feels almost heavy, like the air before rain. The battlefield that once thundered with noise has gone quiet. You look around and see nothing moving, no visible enemy, no visible help, only silence, stretching endlessly. It is not peaceful silence, it's testing silence. It's the pause between prayers and answers, between promise and fulfillment. This is the silence before breakthrough. Many lose heart here, mistaking heaven's quiet for abandonment. But silence does not mean absence, it means alignment. In this sacred hush, heaven rearranges what your eyes cannot yet see. You are standing in the space where roots deepen before blossoms appear. Every chosen one faces this interval. It's not punishment, it's proof of trust. Heaven knows that if you can remain faithful in silence, you can be trusted with sound. When everything stops moving, that's when heaven starts building. The foundation of destiny is laid in the unseen, according to what is revealed in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 26. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Those words don't comfort the impatient, they crown the faithful. Waiting quietly doesn't mean doing nothing. It means listening deeply. In the silence, God speaks not to your ears, but to your essence. You begin to understand that faith is not just believing when you see, it's breathing when you can't. The quiet becomes a mirror. You start to see what still lingers in your heart, old fears, unhealed wounds, unspoken doubts. The silence exposes them gently, not to shame you, but to cleanse you. Heaven uses stillness as surgery. In the absence of noise, you finally hear what's been hiding under the surface. It's uncomfortable. You'd rather move, act, do something. But heaven says, be still and know. Know, not guess, not hope faintly, but know that God is still sovereign, even when he seems silent. The quiet is his classroom and patience is his lesson. You begin to realize that silence is not the end of the conversation, it's the depth of it. When words stop, connection grows stronger. Just as lovers can sit in silence and still understand each other, so too can you and the divine. The stillness teaches intimacy without noise. Every breath becomes a prayer, every heartbeat an offering. You stop chasing signs and start noticing subtleties, the soft sense of peace, the way time seems to slow, the faint warmth in your spirit that says, he's still here. In this stillness, faith matures. It no longer demands confirmation. It rests in confidence. You understand now that heaven doesn't rush because heaven never doubts. The timing of eternity cannot be hurried by impatience. The very delay you despise is often the protection you need. When silence feels endless, remember the deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. You are not being ignored, you are being prepared for permanence. Quick blessings fade, cultivated ones endure. Heaven is anchoring you so that when the winds return, you will not be moved. There will come a moment, subtle and sacred, when the stillness begins to hum. It's faint at first, like distant thunder. But your spirit recognizes it, the sign that something is shifting beneath the surface. The silence has done its work. You are no longer desperate for noise. You've learned to listen to vibration. You stand now between what was and what will be, completely at peace with what is. You've stopped demanding explanations because you've realized that trust doesn't need them. Silence has turned from enemy to ally. It no longer terrifies you. It trains you. This is the maturity heaven sought all along, not frantic faith, but settled belief. You now understand that waiting is warfare too, and your patience itself is prophecy. Every minute you refuse to give up becomes a declaration that you still believe God is working behind the veil, and soon, without warning, the quiet will break. It won't be dramatic at first, but you'll sense it, the breath of newness, the stirring of release. Doors that wouldn't open will suddenly unlock. Paths that were invisible will appear. What seemed like delay was preparation for divine synchronization. The silence will end, not with noise, but with clarity. You'll see how every still moment was part of the design. You'll thank heaven for what it withheld, for what it hid until you were ready to handle it. And in that revelation, gratitude will overflow where frustration once lived. So remain still a little longer. Let silence finish its sacred work. What's being woven in the quiet cannot yet be seen. But when revealed, it will explain everything. Heaven's timing is never late. It simply waits for you to be whole enough to hold what's coming. And when the sound finally returns, you'll recognize it not as interruption, but as fulfillment, the long-awaited melody after the perfect pause. The silence fades, replaced by gentle music only your spirit can hear. It's the sound of promises awakening, of heaven exhaling after holding its breath. What was hidden begins to bloom, proof that every quiet moment was never empty, only pregnant with divine purpose. The silence has lifted. The air feels charged, as though creation itself is holding its breath, waiting for something holy to unfold. You sense it in your spirit. The shaking has begun, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. Heaven is not punishing, it is purifying. Everything false, everything temporary, everything that cannot stand in truth is being stripped away. It begins gently. People drift, habits shift, desires change. The things that once satisfied you now feel shallow. The places you once ran to for comfort now feel foreign. It is not loss, it is liberation. Heaven is shaking loose what no longer aligns with your divine design. This is not chaos, it is cleansing. You are being separated from imitation so you can walk in authenticity. What looks like falling apart is really falling into order. The old foundations are breaking because new glory needs room to build. Heaven speaks clearly through the prophet Haggai. Chapter 2, verse 7, I will shake all nations, and what is desired by all nations will come, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord Almighty. That shaking is here not to terrify, but to testify. God shakes what can be shaken so that what is eternal remains. Every false identity you once wore begins to crack. Every lie you once believed starts to crumble. You can feel the tremor deep in your soul, but beneath the shaking, there is stability, the unshakable presence of God within you. It can feel lonely. The ground you trusted feels unstable. The relationships that once defined you seem distant. But understand, when heaven upgrades your calling, it recalibrates your circle. Some people were meant for your past, not your future. Their departure is not rejection, it's redirection. You are not losing stability, you are gaining foundation. You are not breaking, you are being built again. This time on rock, not sand. The shaking exposes the counterfeit, both around and within. The old fears resurface. The insecurities whisper again, but this time, you see them for what they are. Shadows without substance. Don't fear the shaking, follow its rhythm. Every tremor is heaven's hand rearranging your destiny. The places that collapse will make space for glory. The pieces that fall will reveal purity. The discomfort is holy, it's the evidence that transformation is underway. You are not the same as you were before. The shaking is the sound of your old limits dying. You are becoming weightier, steadier, truer. The illusions that once held you no longer have permission to define you. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment always comes with a quake. When the world around you trembles, remember, not everything that falls was meant to stay. Some structures collapse to prove they were never strong. Some connections fade to prove they were never divine. And when the dust settles, what remains will be glory, peace, and clarity. You will stand amid ruins and realize it's not ruin at all. It's revealing. Heaven didn't take from you, it unveiled you. Beneath the rubble of what broke lies the gold of who you truly are. The shaking doesn't end you, it introduces you. This is your refinement season, the holy unveiling. You're emerging lighter, freer, and unshakably rooted. You are learning to thank God for the tremors, for they remove what your comfort would have kept. Now, as you feel this word echo in your spirit, seal your agreement with heaven's movement. Comment this number below: 44444. 4 is the number of stability, of foundation, of creation made firm. 44444 is your declaration that no matter what shakes, you will not be moved. It's your vow that though everything shifts, your faith stands unbroken. When you type it, you are not reacting, you are aligning. You're telling heaven, let the false fall, let only truth remain. You're allowing God to rearrange what you couldn't fix. 4 becomes your signature of surrender, your spiritual cornerstone laid before heaven's eyes. Type it not in fear, but in faith. For when the shaking ends, only those built on truth will still be standing, and you will be among them, radiant, unshaken, crowned with glory that cannot be shaken loose again. When you type 44444, you're not just marking a number, you're laying a cornerstone in the spirit. Each 4 becomes a pillar of faith, declaring that your foundation is God alone. It's a silent statement that says, Let the storm come. I will not crumble. Every 4 stands for stability: north, south, east, and west, your soul anchored in every direction. Typing 44444 means your spirit chooses equilibrium even in motion, peace even in pressure. It is your spiritual architecture, 4 walls of faith enclosing the presence of glory within. Heaven watches as you write 4P44444, recording it as covenant. You're not resisting the shaking, you're welcoming it, trusting that what falls away was never meant to remain. This number becomes your altar in text form, a vow of trust, a declaration of divine permanence. When the shaking subsides, a holy stillness follows. The dust settles, and for the first time in a long while, you can see clearly. The landscape of your life looks unfamiliar, emptier perhaps, but also purer. What remains feels lighter, stronger and truer. You realize that what survived the shaking was never meant to leave, and what was removed was never meant to stay. In this new quiet, revelation begins to rise. You start to understand the hidden purpose behind every battle, every loss, every unanswered prayer. What once looked like detours now form a divine pattern. The pain, the waiting, the pruning, it all aligns into a map that leads you straight into destiny. You see the hand of God where you once saw chaos. The confusion dissolves. The questions that haunted you lose their weight. You no longer need explanations because now you hold understanding. Every delay taught you patience. Every rejection taught you redirection. The things you thought broke you were the very things that built you. Heaven never wasted a moment, it was all orchestration. As the ancient prophet wrote in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." That verse becomes alive inside you. You see how heaven's timing was never off, it was perfectly synchronized. Every apparent pause was a pulse of preparation. The appointed time wasn't delayed, it was developing you. Now you understand why certain doors didn't open earlier, they were waiting for the version of you that stands here now. This is the unveiling of the hidden scroll of destiny, the moment when what was veiled becomes visible. God unfolds the pages of your purpose, and every word feels familiar, as if your soul always knew this story but had forgotten for a time. You are not discovering something new. You are remembering what heaven wrote about you long ago. You were always destined to carry light into darkness, to bring healing where there was harm, to speak peace where there was pain. The trials didn't disqualify you, they qualified you. The journey through fire etched wisdom on your spirit that no textbook could teach. The weight you once hated has become your greatest anointing. You start to see your scars differently. They are not reminders of where you were hurt, they are proof of where you were healed. Every mark tells a story of divine intervention. The enemy tried to make them symbols of shame, but heaven turned them into emblems of strength. You no longer hide them, you honor them. In the unfolding of this revelation, gratitude begins to overflow. You realize how mercy shielded you, how grace redirected you, how love kept you standing when logic said you should have fallen. You feel heaven's fingerprints on every page of your past. What once looked like tragedy now reads as transformation. The hidden scroll continues to open, revealing not just what you were called to do, but who you were always meant to be. The chosen one who carries gentleness and fire, humility and power, faith and compassion. These were never opposites, but harmonies designed to dwell in one vessel. The realization humbles you. You no longer crave recognition, for you understand that purpose itself is the reward. The applause of men fades beside the approval of heaven. You were not created to be seen, you were created to shine. You begin to walk differently. Not faster, but with deeper peace. You move with intention, aware that each step is guided. The scroll doesn't reveal every detail, but it shows enough for trust to grow. The rest will unfold in time. Destiny doesn't rush, it ripens. The journey no longer feels heavy because you know now that nothing is wasted. Even your detours were divine directions in disguise. The scroll reveals that heaven's plan never failed, it was just unfolding at a pace your heart could handle. And as you continue reading this invisible script written on your soul, one truth becomes clear: your story was never ordinary. It was written in eternal ink, preserved through every storm, guarded by angels, and sealed with purpose. The hidden scroll of destiny isn't about finding something outside, it's about awakening what's always been inside. The call was written in your spirit before your birth, waiting for this moment of remembrance. You finally see that destiny is not a destination, it's identity recognized. You close your eyes, and it's as though heaven's pen still moves, writing the next line through your choices, your compassion, your courage. You are no longer searching for meaning, you are living it. Every breath is a sentence, every act of love a verse, every moment of surrender another line in the sacred scroll. And in that awareness, peace anchors deep within you. You no longer fear what's ahead because you've seen what's within. The scroll continues to unfold, not with haste, but with grace, and you, at last, walk in rhythm with the story heaven wrote from the beginning of time. There is a moment when revelation turns into responsibility. Once you've seen who you truly are, you can no longer live as if you don't know. Destiny is not only a gift, it is a demand. Heaven doesn't reveal purpose to entertain curiosity. It reveals it to awaken obedience. You now understand that knowing is not enough. The next step is activation. You feel it stirring a call to act on what has been revealed, to wield the truth that was once hidden. The hidden scroll was never meant to stay closed. It was meant to be carried into the world. What you've learned in private must now shape what you do in public. The revelations that healed you are meant to heal others. You stand between revelation and manifestation, one foot in heaven's whisper, the other in earth's soil. The sword in your hand glows with the same light that forged it, the fire of divine purpose. It hums with a frequency your spirit understands. This is the moment the sword strikes, the moment truth is released as action. We find in the book of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. It penetrates even to dividing soul and spirit, joints and marrow. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. That living word now flows through you. You are not swinging an ancient blade, you are wielding living revelation. When truth is spoken with love, darkness trembles. The sword of the Spirit is not meant to harm. It is meant to heal through clarity. It cuts away confusion, dividing lies from light. You raise the sword not to destroy others, but to deliver them. Every word you speak in truth carries the authority of the one who sent you. You don't have to shout, you only have to stand. The power isn't in the volume, it's in the vibration of truth itself. The moment the sword strikes, chains begin to fall. They break not with noise, but with resonance. Lies can no longer cling to what has been revealed. The enemy's grip slips, not because of struggle, but because of light. You don't need to wrestle, you simply need to shine. The sword of the Spirit doesn't draw blood, it draws boundaries. It separates what is divine from what is deceptive, what is eternal from what is temporary. You feel its edge moving even within you, cutting away lingering fear, trimming the last roots of doubt. Each stroke brings freedom, not pain. You see it happening in real-time clarity, flooding where confusion lived. The people around you notice, not because of spectacle, but because of presence. You carry peace that pierces through anxiety, truth that dismantles deceit, love that disarms hostility. You don't announce transformation, it announces itself through your atmosphere. The moment the sword strikes, alignment follows. What was crooked straightens. What was hidden becomes visible. You realize that wielding truth is less about battle and more about balance. It's about restoring what's been bent by lies, healing what's been broken by misunderstanding. Heaven doesn't call you to fight against people, it calls you to fight for purity. Every time you choose honesty over image, you swing the sword. Every time you speak life where gossip whispers death, you wield the word. Every time you forgive, you cut through the net of bitterness. The sword's power is compassion expressed through conviction. And when you stand still, sword in hand, you realize this is not about destruction. It's about declaration. You are declaring truth reigns here. You're saying to every falsehood, your time is over. And heaven echoes back, sealing your words with authority. The sword in your hand feels alive because it is. It's the same word that created worlds, that calmed storms, that raised the dead. That word lives in you, moves through you, and speaks when you do. You are not a spectator of Scripture. You are its continuation. With each swing of truth, light expands. You begin to see how every battle before this one was training for this moment: the steady hand, the calm heart, the sure strike. You no longer fight in panic. You move with precision. The chosen ones do not thrash, they target. And in this divine rhythm of revelation and action, you sense heaven smiling. You've learned what few ever do, that power is not loud, and truth is not cruel. True strength is gentle because it is certain. The sword strikes not out of anger, but out of love that refuses to let darkness remain. When the last echo fades, peace settles. Not because the battle disappeared summum, but because light prevailed. You lower the sword, not in exhaustion but in reverence, knowing that every strike was guided, every word directed, every victory already written. The sword returns to stillness, gleaming faintly in the light. You realize it has never been about warfare, it's about awakening. The moment the sword struck, heaven and earth aligned, and your destiny moved from promise to power. The battle is quieted, and for the first time, you sense the fragrance of victory in the air. It isn't the scent of conquest or applause, it's the subtle aroma of peace. The war that once roared inside you has grown still. The sword rests now, not because it's dull, but because its work is complete. The time of striving gives way to the time of crowning. You feel heaven's gaze again, steady, radiant, approving. The long road, the hidden tears, the unseen battles, they were never in vain. The journey was your anointing. Every wound, every trial, every act of perseverance became oil, poured and pressed until it dripped from your spirit like liquid gold. You were never losing. You were being prepared to wear glory that could not be borrowed. And now, you stand before the throne of grace, not trembling, but humbled. The crown waits. It is not the kind forged by men's admiration, but one woven with eternal light. Its weight does not crush, it confirms. You realize that this crown was never about reward, it was always about identity. We are reminded in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Those words settle into your soul like melody. You remember every moment you almost gave up, every night you prayed through tears, every step you took in faith when nothing made sense. and you understand it was all recorded. Heaven doesn't forget endurance, it honors it. The crown is not a decoration, it's a declaration. It announces that you overcame, that you stayed when walking away would have been easier, that you chose love when hate was justified. It's the symbol of divine resilience, the proof that mercy outlasted pain. As the crown touches your spirit, something shifts. The weight of it is unlike any burden you've known. It's not heavy, it's holy. It doesn't remind you of authority, it reminds you of grace. You know this is not an end, it's a beginning. Crowns are not meant for resting, they are meant for reigning. Heaven's light reflects through you now. It moves through your voice, your presence, your peace. You are no longer striving to be seen, you are shining to serve. The crown doesn't make you above others. It enables you to lift others higher. True glory bows low, and as you stand in this sacred light, the Spirit whispers now, go and carry this presence forward. The crown isn't kept in a box, it is worn in everyday compassion, in quiet acts of goodness, in words that heal, in patience that mirrors divine kindness. This is kingship in heaven's language, servanthood wrapped in strength. And now, a soft invitation unfolds not as command but as communion. When you press like, imagine placing your hand upon the crown itself, feeling its warmth, acknowledging that your season of endurance has not been wasted. When you share, see it as the gentle act of placing another crown upon a weary head, passing on the same hope that lifted you. When you subscribe, think of it not as following, but as remaining, choosing to walk with the light, to return to this sacred space whenever your soul needs to remember its royalty. And if your heart wishes to leave a comment, let it be your quiet coronation. Type a simple phrase perhaps. I receive my crown, not to be seen, but to seal your agreement with heaven. In that brief sentence, you are not speaking to the screen, you are answering your calling. Each gesture is symbolic, quiet, and pure, an offering of gratitude, not obligation. You are not being asked to perform, but to participate in the flow of light. When one chosen one rises, the atmosphere changes, and when many rise together, the earth begins to glow again. Let this be that moment, a shared rising. Each heart that responds becomes another flame in heaven's crown. Each soul that aligns adds brilliance to eternity's reflection. The act is small, but the meaning infinite, to honor the light you carry, to mirror the love you've received, to keep this current of grace alive. And if words fail you, let your silence speak. Let your presence be your praise. Let your life become the living continuation of this crowning moment, a reminder that the glory you wear was never yours to hoard, but heaven's to share. So breathe deeply. Feel the crown settle. You are not finished. You are commissioned. The journey ahead is not about proving anything, it's about shining from everything you've already endured. The world needs the light you now carry, the calm authority of one who has overcome. And as heaven watches smiling, you take one final step forward, no longer the wounded warrior, but the crowned one, walking in quiet splendor, radiating the beauty of completion. The crown upon your spirit gleams softly, not as a symbol of arrival, but as a reminder of responsibility. You understand now that this journey was never about survival, it was preparation for assignment. What once felt like endurance has become empowerment. You stand not merely as one who has overcome, but as one commissioned to carry light beyond the battlefield. This is the transition every chosen one must face, the moment when victory turns into vocation. You are no longer called to fight against darkness alone. You are now called to lead others out of it. The same strength that kept you alive is now meant to keep others from falling. You carry something sacred, the residue of heaven's glory upon your spirit. You move differently now. The steps you take are measured, not out of caution, but out of awareness. You sense that every action ripples across realms. Your words weigh more. Your silence speaks louder. You've crossed from merely existing to commanding presence. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians with chapter 3, verse 9. For we are co-workers in God's service. You are God's field, God's building. You finally understand that calling is collaboration. Heaven doesn't simply move for you, it moves with you. Every day you breathe, you partner with the Creator in shaping the world around you. You are both instrument and architect, vessel and voice. The work ahead is not about conquest, it's about cultivation. Marching into eternal assignment doesn't mean leaving Earth. It means living with heaven's rhythm on Earth. You become the bridge between realms, a translator of the divine. Where others see problems, you see purpose. Where others feel despair, you sense direction. You are no longer reacting to life, you are orchestrating it with grace. Your new battleground is not destruction, it is creation. You bring beauty where ashes remain, harmony where chaos reigns. The authority you walk in now is not loud, not forceful, but deeply rooted. It flows from stillness, from knowing who you are and whose you are. You begin to understand the hidden reason behind every season of breaking it was to teach you compassion. You cannot lead with arrogance when you've been broken by mercy. Every scar has softened you. Every test has refined you. Leadership in heaven's kingdom isn't about being above others. It's about carrying them forward with gentleness and strength. You've become a commander of light, not one who barks orders, but one whose very presence reorders the atmosphere. Where you walk, anxiety loses ground. Where you speak, hope begins to rise. You no longer strive to inspire, you simply embody inspiration. Your life becomes a living message. Every breath preaches, every act teaches. You understand that the truest sermons are not delivered from pulpits, but from presence. You are heaven's message made flesh, love made visible in motion. This assignment will not always be easy. Some will resist your peace because it exposes their chaos. Some will misunderstand your quiet confidence as pride. But you have learned that obedience is better than approval. The world's misunderstanding cannot outweigh heaven's trust. The path ahead won't always glow with clarity. Sometimes it will feel like walking through mist, where each step reveals only the next. But you will no longer fear uncertainty. You've learned that revelation unfolds at the pace of obedience. You move when heaven whispers, and in that rhythm, miracles align. You are no longer chasing destiny. You are carrying it. The assignment before you isn't to build monuments, but to plant movements, to awaken hearts that have forgotten how to feel, to remind souls that love is still the greatest power in the universe. And as you walk, you begin to notice signs of heaven everywhere, a kind word at the right moment, an unexpected door opening, a stranger's eyes filled with recognition. These are confirmations that you are walking in synchronization with divine timing. You have become a living reflection of the kingdom, calm amid chaos, steady amid shifting winds. The peace within you becomes contagious. The same fire that once refined you now lights the way for others. You don't have to announce your assignment. Your life reveals it. Every morning feels like a continuation of eternity now. The veil between heaven and earth grows thinner around you. Prayer feels like breathing, and purpose feels like pulse. You are no longer looking for God in the distance, you find Him in every detail. And so, you march not as one trying to prove worth, but as one who has already been chosen. You move with grace that commands reverence, with gentleness that carries authority. Every step becomes sacred, every word a seed, every glance a blessing. This is what it means to walk in eternal assignment, to live with heaven's agenda in your heart, to touch the world not through might, but through mercy. You've become more than a survivor, more than a warrior. You are now a steward of divine light. As the horizon stretches before you, glowing with dawn's first fire, you feel no fear. You've learned the rhythm of eternity: surrender, obedience, peace. You walk not toward glory, you walk with it. And wherever your feet touch, the ground remembers heaven. The horizon opens wide before you now, painted with the colors of fulfillment. The air carries a quiet holiness, the kind that follows completion, not exhaustion. You feel it deep within. The final battle is over. The war that once roared in your spirit has fallen silent, not because the world has changed, but because you have. What was once chaos has become calm, and that calm is your crown. You walk forward slow and sure. There is no rush anymore. Eternity has no deadlines. You have learned that true victory doesn't shout, it breathes. It moves like wind through the trees, soft but unstoppable. You are no longer fighting to be free. You are living as one who already is. The final lesson has taken root. Freedom isn't found in escape, but in acceptance. The eternal echo begins to form, not in sound, but in resonance. You feel it vibrating in the core of your being, the aftersound of obedience. Heaven is not clapping. Heaven is harmonizing with you. You have become part of the eternal song, the melody of souls who overcame. As the ancient psalmist wrote in the book of Psalms, chapter 121, verse 8, "The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore." Those words settle like a final seal over your journey. They remind you that the story never truly ends, it transforms. You are watched over, covered, and carried, even beyond the boundaries of time. Every step you take echoes forward into eternity, becoming part of a divine rhythm that never fades. You glance back one last time, not in regret, but in reverence. The path behind you glows faintly, lit by the fires you survived and the grace that sustained you. You see the version of yourself that once doubted, cried, and almost turned back, and you smile with gratitude. That person walked so this one could soar. You realize now that every scar, every silence, every sleepless night had a purpose to shape your soul into something eternal. You no longer question why the pain was necessary. You thank it for its part in your awakening. The journey was not punishment, it was preparation for permanence. The final battle wasn't against darkness, it was against forgetfulness. You had to remember who you were, whose you were, and why you were sent. And now that remembrance has returned, not as concept, but as certainty. You carry divine memory again, the awareness of where you come from and where you are returning to. The earth feels different beneath your feet now. Each step hums with completion. You sense heaven's nearness, as if the veil between worlds has become a mere breath. You understand that this was never about surviving a single lifetime, it was about learning eternity's rhythm while still wrapped in flesh. You are not leaving the battlefield, you are ascending from it. The war didn't end in destruction, but in transformation. You are not carrying wounds anymore, you are carrying wisdom. What once hurt you now teaches others. What once broke you now builds bridges. You have become the living evidence of redemption. In the stillness of your victory, heaven moves closer. You sense it, the gentle folding of time, the soundless applause of angels, the quiet whisper of the Father saying, "Well done," not shouted from distance, but breathed beside you. It's not a reward, it's a recognition. Heaven doesn't celebrate results, it celebrates relationship. You are no longer separate from that voice. The echo of God's breath now blends with yours. You inhale grace, exhale purpose. You are the melody and the messenger, the flame and the reflection. You were never meant to end. You were meant to continue in another form. The eternal echo grows stronger, not as noise, but as light. It radiates from you, touching every place you once walked, sanctifying your history. The same steps that once bled now bloom. The same tears that once burned now water seeds of glory. Every fragment of your story finds its place in the divine mosaic. And then, at last, you understand this was never your battle alone. It was heaven's story told through your willingness. You were chosen not to impress, but to embody, not to prove strength, but to reveal surrender. Every moment of obedience became a verse in the eternal hymn of love. You look up, and the sky doesn't seem distant anymore. It feels like home. The light that once seemed unreachable now flows through your veins. You are not standing beneath heaven. You are standing within it. The borders have dissolved. The union is complete. Your life, your voice, your faith, they have become eternal echoes, still moving long after your footsteps fade. Someone, somewhere will rise because you stood. Someone will believe because you endured. That is the legacy of the chosen ones, to leave echoes that never die. The story does not end here, it expands. The song continues. The flame keeps burning. The light keeps spreading. You have finished the final battle, but eternity has only just begun. The story closes, but your spirit stays awake. The words have finished, yet their sound lingers in you like a heartbeat, steady, alive, eternal. You can feel it, something within has shifted. This isn't the end. It's the threshold of becoming. You have walked through darkness, endured storms, stood tall when everything tried to break you, and now you shine. This is the moment heaven looks upon you and smiles, because you made it through the last battle without losing your heart. And now, in this quiet space between endings and beginnings, you are invited not by command, but by communion to keep the light flowing. When you press like, imagine it as a pulse of gratitude, a candle lit in the temple of your own soul, saying, I am still here, and I am still shining. When you share, think of it not as spreading a post, but as releasing a spark into another heart, perhaps one trembling in silence, waiting for hope to find them. What if your single act becomes the whisper that saves a life? What if your spark becomes someone else's dawn? When you subscribe, see it as returning to this sacred river whenever your soul grows weary. It's not about following. It's about staying in the current of grace, allowing these words to meet you again where you most need them. And if you choose to comment, let it be more than text. Let it be testimony. A few simple words. Maybe I am still standing, or light lives in me. Heaven will see it, and earth will feel it. Let this be your act of worship in motion, a beautiful, voluntary gesture that says, I choose the light again. The world is darker than ever, but your glow is proof that heaven still touches earth through human hands. Your journey doesn't end here, it expands, carried by your presence, your faith, your courage to stay luminous. So go shine quietly, love fiercely, and keep returning to the light that called your name. The story lives on through you.